Welcome to Thinking Green. I'm Rana, and we're kind of continuing on a theme this couple months following the election that was 5 weeks ago. And as we're seeing President-elect Trump's cabinet choices, I think it doesn't really surprise anyone that, you know, the EPA head that he's chosen is a climate change denier. But one of the really troubling and kind of surprising, I think, characteristics that his cabinet choices are almost all really homophobic. And with that in mind, my guest tonight is Edwin Nieves. He's on the board of OutCT. And OutCT is one of the organizations I got in touch with right after the election because it seemed as though there are many groups of people right now in the United States who are feeling very threatened by the current political climate. And the LGBT community is certainly high up among those groups, especially in light of seeing the cabinet appointments. So we're going to talk about that, the reality, the threats, ways forward, and how people can get involved. So welcome, Edwin.
Well, thank you for having me, Rana.
You're usually on the other side.
I'm used to being on the other side of the camera, so.
I guess I wanted to start out, you can just talk about OutCT as an organization, why it was founded, and what kind of things it does in general.
Well, OutCT is an organization that's been out for about 4 years in this area. It's been around other areas, but in different forms and different names throughout the country, throughout different states. We just wanted to bring something to our local region so we can have our own chapter of this organization. It's mainly focusing on awareness of the LGBT community, trying to get the community involved and to try to do stuff, volunteer work, a lot of different awareness issues right now.
And New London, I'm thinking, is not, and Southeast Connecticut are probably not the hardest places to work on that.
No, not at all. Actually, this is one of the most accepting areas. I've lived around the country, a couple different places, and over here, this region of the United States, it's really easy to be a gay individual around here. You're really accepted. I've been down south for a while, and it's a different way of living. And I also lived out in the Midwest, and it's like going back in a time machine, and people act a little bit different, and they're a lot more conservative, I would say, about how to be.
Well, you know, New London in particular, maybe some of the surrounding communities as well, is actually really dependent on having like interesting people living here. And so, you know, it sounds funny, but we need, you know, I won't say all kinds of misfits, although I kind of feel like maybe that's how I found my way here. But New London seems to be a good gathering point of people who have something that isn't quite mainstream to bring, and that's partly why it's a fun place to live.
New London's pretty eclectic. It's a artist type of town where there's a lot of people who are trying to express themselves in their local art, whether it be the way they dress, whether it's creating something, the way they look. This is a really, really accepting and open community. I love the different art scenes downtown. You can go to different types of art spaces, the Hygienic Park being one of them. There's another one, Green, I believe it is, downtown, and coffee houses, different ones down there that are just all over the place. But we also have a local gay bar, which is something that not every town has, and our town is special and fortunate enough to have one. I've seen, growing up, we actually had 3 of them at one time, and I was really excited that I was in a town that had 3 gay bars. There's not many other ones that have them, not unless you're a big city.
Yeah, and really our population is not that big that you think, but the influence in New London has been huge. So you are a new board member of OutCT, correct?
Yes.
So what made you want to get involved?
Well, it's kind of a funny story. The way I got involved was because I'm more of a camera guy. I work behind the scenes on most of my shows. And I got asked by OutCT to come to a couple events. One of the first ones I did was the fashion show, where I got to run around with a camera and like interview people during these events and see what was going on behind the scenes. There was a lot of different people working behind the scenes to make the fashion show go together, and I got really interested with that. The next big project that I was asked to work on was the Pride event, and they also had a cosplay competition which I filmed, and I got really excited to grab a camera, interview a lot of people behind the scenes, but I really wanted to see what was the more inner workings of it, so I started attending a bunch of meetings, and eventually I joined the board, and I'm excited to be a new board member. There's a lot of changes that are happening this year, so it's going to be a really different year, and I'm really grateful to be working with this new group of people.
Well, Constance Christophic was associated with the group from the beginning, and she has been on the show talking about it. But I guess for organizations to grow and prosper, you really need to bring in more people and new blood.
Yep. It's kind of almost necessary that we actually get this new blood and this big push. Constance saw that. She had a good eye for the thing. She's our biggest person. She's the founder of OutCT. So a lot of the programs and a lot of things that already happen are all her, and she has the drive behind it. But there's a lot of new board members that want to do something with it. So we're joining up and we're trying to move forward to the next chapter and hopefully take OutCT to a whole new ball game. I don't know what's going to happen with it, but it's bigger.
Well, maybe we can talk a little bit about some of the programs and some of the events that OutCT has.
All right. One of the recent ones we just had was the Transgender Day of Remembrance. That was in Niantic this past month. It was a remembrance ceremony for transgender people that passed away. We had an artist called Pat Dodana that was there. She was singing. It was one of the things that we want to make sure we don't leave out of the big fold. A lot of people get lost. We had a lot of deaths this past year because of violence, but with the Transgender Day of Remembrance, we wanted to mainly just focus on the transgender people in our community and remember them. And there was a point where we read out each of their names and just had a moment of silence for each of them. The next couple things we're looking forward to working on is a fashion show, which is usually every May, and scavenger hunts are in July. We try to do a scavenger hunt each year. And we also have the big Pride event, which we do every August. It's the last week of August, and this year it's going to be the 5th one. So it's going to be a big marker.
So really, the event started as soon as the organization started, or maybe even before.
It did. The Pride at the Beach events, the first couple years, they were very, very scaled down from the way it is now. At this point, we're doing a 2-day event where we're spreading all these different artists and all these different local vendors that come to show their stuff between 2 different days, 2 different locations. We had it on Friday night this past year at the Hygienic Park, and then Saturday at Ocean Beach Park. So people had 2 different options. If they couldn't make it on a Friday, they could make it on a Saturday. And we're going to hope to do something similar, maybe even bigger this year. We're still just getting off of the train from writing this year out and taking a break, but we're going to get right on to planning, start in January for August, because it's a really, really big event. So it's going to be fun.
Now, you mentioned that a recent event was the Transgender Day of Remembrance, and it makes me think, if you go to your website, it seems as though there are more and more youth programs, and one made me think of the other because, it's a very at-risk group, especially young people, I imagine.
Yep.
So what kind of youth programs does OutCT sponsor?
OutCT just started their youth program a little bit about a year ago. We're still trying to build up the momentum with it. Right now we have about 6 different teenagers that show up once a month. It's the third Thursday of each month from 3 to 6. It's in Mystic. The address is 193 High Street. You can find out more information if you go to outct.org, but what it basically is a youth program. It has a bus that picks up the students. They bring them to this house, and they'll have like a game night or a movie night. 1 month it was bowling, but it's a type of environment where kids can feel comfortable. They don't have to feel like they have to put up these walls like if they were at school and after school activities. And they can hang out with peers of their own with no judgment. It's really awesome. I wish there was something like that when I was around.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that when, I don't know how long ago you were in high school, but what kind of supports there might have been in place 15 years ago or not, and what that was like.
Yeah, for me, I was coming out in high school about 15 years ago, and it was a different time. It was a little bit accepted, but it wasn't as accepted yet. I was probably the only out gay male at my school. There was a couple females that were out, and I was fortunate. It was the late 90s, so it was almost a cool thing. But, it was a different type of time then. I didn't really want to be as out as I was because I did get picked on, but I had more supporters than enemies, and my supporters would always take care of my enemies for me. I didn't really have to worry about standing up for myself or anything at the time. But I'm seeing today's youth is going through a lot more difficult changes now. I have a friend who's in high school. She's 16 years old and recently just transitioned, and it's an uphill battle for her. It's what bathroom do I use? During gym class, do I go in the boys' locker rooms, the girls' locker rooms? It's a tough subject to talk about, but it's a support system that we all need, and especially for a teenager, when you got people rallying around you and you feel comfortable in your own skin, it's better. Everybody should feel that way.
Yeah, and yet those years are really tumultuous for all teenagers, and with even those who don't have to think about, am I going to be judged on the basis of what bathroom I'm walking into? Mm-hmm. It's, I can't even imagine what that would be like, and yet, it seems so trivial a thing to have to worry about, but I can imagine it would be a really big deal if you're facing it every day.
Yeah. And speaking of my friend, the 16-year-old, I'm really proud of the way that we progressed and how she feels comfortable enough to take the hormones that are changing, and the family is supporting that. 15 years ago, people wouldn't be able to do that type of thing, or if they did, it wasn't even spoke of. But I've even seen this recent TV show that was about a teenager going through the transition and taking hormones and just going through all these changes that I guess, it's supposed to be a more natural process like adolescence and puberty almost, but it wasn't as accepted before, and now it's getting that way.
Now, I think that, the current climate in this country, in some places, we're going to be seeing more hate crimes, but are you seeing that families are more accepting now than they were 15 or 20 or 30 years ago? Or
yes and no. They are accepting, but it's not seeing the people that don't get recognized. There's a lot of people that don't get recognized by their families as being homosexual or gay, lesbians, and a lot of kids end up homeless. They end up on the streets. Right now, OutCT has that as a seed in their head that they want to try to get a homeless shelter for these kids that end up just getting thrown out into the streets and end up homeless. but you know, it's going to take a while for
Yeah.
us to get there, and hopefully, you know, people will be more accepting. I don't know what happened 15 years ago to those people. They just went deeper in the closet and tried to get back home somehow, but you know, I am hoping that there'll be a place for them soon.
Yeah, I hope so, because, you know, if you lose your family support at that age, when you're like high school age, you're not really ready to be out on your own yet.
No, not at
And,
all.
you know, there's such a potential for people getting into situations where they're exploited or unsafe.
Exactly.
Okay, so we talked a little about the youth programs. You also have happy hours, correct?
We do. OutCT hosts the Hump Day Happy Hour.
This is for the ones who are over 21.
Yeah,
at least
if you're over
21.
21, we're not talking about the youth group anymore. There's a Hump Day Happy Hour, which is the last Wednesday of every month, where we just try to meet at a local bar supporting local businesses, and just try to, you know, to catch up with each other and not really talk about business, just to have a laid back, relaxed happy hour time. We've had a few of them recently. The last one was at the Harp and Dragon in Norwich. The next one's going to be at Ella's in Westerly. Possibly, we're still trying to finalize the location. Another one is the Arbor House in Mystic we're looking at for possibly January, but it's always the last Wednesday of every month. We're looking for everybody to come and join us, and you know, we're going to try different places all the time. Why not? We don't have to be stuck in one location.
No, definitely not. And so if someone wants to find out like where this month's or the next month's event is, where can they find out?
They can go to our Facebook page, or they can go to outct.org. But the Facebook page pretty much keeps it current, so you'll see it in your timeline.
Yeah, so for the everyday breaking news, Facebook is it, isn't it?
It's awesome, yeah.
So let me think, what other annual, now you talked a little about the fashion show and how that was really an interesting way for you to become aware of the inner workings. And you mentioned before the show that it's a fundraiser for the youth program. So do you want to like elaborate more on what goes on with the fashion show and why it's such a big deal?
Yeah, the fashion show is a fundraiser. It's a huge fundraiser. It's our biggest fundraiser we do at all. Our new president, Mario De Lucia, he is also the youth chair. He has been running the fashion show for the last few years and really has taken it to a crazy, awesome level. Last year, our host was Carson Kressley. He was the guy who was on Queer Eye for the Straight Guy in the 90s. I remember watching him in the 90s. It was really awesome. And getting to like interview him and have him see him face to face. I took a bunch of pictures and totally fanned out. But yeah, the fashion show is a fundraiser. We try to have different themes. Last year, I believe it was the Roaring '20s that was the theme. And we just have a good time with it. We hosted it at the Port and Starboard in Ocean Beach. It was huge. Lots of people showed up. It was more of a gala than laid back type thing, fancy food and fancy dressing up. But we try to do it every year. I believe it's in May. I think we already locked down the date. I'm not 100% sure, but I think we already locked down the date. We try to do it months in advance.
So is it going to be a Port and Starboard again, do you think?
Yes, it is. Last year we did a silent auction, and all the money goes to the youth program. Like I said, right now the youth program is small. We have a house that we have the kids coming to, but if we can keep on building on that program, we might be able to get some kind of like shelters for other kids who are thrown out on the streets, and it keeps on going back into the community, and mostly for the youth. But I'm really excited with Mario. He's the one who used to head the youth program. He's now the new president of OutCT. So we're going to be bringing a lot of his business savvy to the rest of the program.
And he organized the fashion show as well,
Yeah,
correct?
he organized the fashion show all by himself. He really got a lot of the sponsors, the big name sponsors to sign on, and their repeat sponsors, so they'll keep on coming back. He's developed really good relationships with them. The fashion show separately makes money for the youth, as the other OutCT programs make. If we do other fundraisers, it's for the whole program as a whole, instead of just focusing on just the youth. But we're trying to figure out how to like work with the money and try to see if we're going to go with the whole program or just focus on the youth. But right now, the youth are looking good.
Now, in light of the fact that, we have this administration coming into this country, are there any particular problems you anticipate might show up that will need addressing?
Yeah, now that I am a member of the OutCT board, I've been getting a lot more emails informing me about the different issues that are going on with the government, and one of them was the transgender bathrooms. A lot of the school systems, they don't have a policy in place yet, and one of the things that we were recently doing was I believe New London High School at Benny Dover, they had a forum about just this issue on its own, and they had people come up and speak about it. And I believe Waterford has their own policy in place. It's a whole new thing. We're going to have to start thinking about this. It's now a whole different era where we have to focus on some issues. Another big issue that I was just going through and that you had brought up earlier was the conversion therapy, which blows my mind that that's
Maybe
even still around.
Maybe talk about that a little. I don't know if people watching really know what.
Well, conversion therapy is exactly what it sounds. It's people converting from gay to not gay, but I don't even know why they have a policy like this or a practice like this. But right now we're trying to talk about the banning of that. Connecticut is trying to get that banned. I believe it is practice here. I don't know exactly where. I know it is more practice and more loud down south. And there's no bans over there, but we're trying to get bans put in place for stuff like that. And this is going to be a big year with new president in place and things changing. The cabinet's changing a lot right now. We're going to have to be looking at every single issue very closely.
And I think that the gay community is going to have issues. Women's reproductive rights are also going to be under attack. And it's kind of sad to me. A lot of it is under the guise of religion, but I don't really think that religions really want people to be abusing each other in the name of you're different from me.
Yeah, so this is going to be a wild year. Another issue that is on the table, or hopefully not on the table, is our marriage equality. Last year we got marriage equality for the whole United States, which was great. I never thought I would see that in my lifetime, but I'm really excited that I see that. The state itself had that a couple years ago, and
although without the federal status, there was some inequalities, like couples who were married here couldn't file their federal tax returns jointly until it was nationwide.
So yeah, now it's nationwide, but we have a couple of people in office that we have to. And
we have a vacancy on the Supreme Court that
we do.
is kind of that is scary. That if thinking that some of this could be reversed, and will that leave people in limbo? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm hoping. I heard one of the quotes that Trump had said that he's going to leave it alone. We got it already. Just leave it alone. I'm hoping that's the case. But there was a reversal a few years ago for the state of California and getting marriage over there. Now it's nationwide, so I'm hoping we're good. But right now it's one of those things where I'm a little worried. I just recently got engaged, and I'm like, do I rush to the altar, or do I just kind of relax and take my time? So we'll see.
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to know. Now, looking at the list of other events that OutCT has, I see a scavenger hunt on the list. What is that about?
Yeah, in July, I think we've done it for about 3 years. Every July, we try to have a scavenger hunt. It takes a little planning, and we try to get people from the community to gather up in groups. And it was so much fun this past year. People made their names for their groups, and they ran all over the place. We didn't limit it this year to just New London. Some of the things were like go out to Groton, come to Waterford, do this and that. So there was a little driving around, but they won a trophy at the end of it. It was a fun time, and we try to do it just for that local calamity, so people can get together and enjoy themselves. So
Now, the big event that you touched on was the Pride Festival in August.
Yep.
And you have a film clip from, was it last year's event?
Yeah, earlier this year, over the summer, I brought a film clip of a bunch of different people who were at the event, and just to kind of highlight what was going on over there.
Okay, so we can watch that and then we'll talk more.
All right, I'm at the Diva booth, right? Is that what it's called? Diva Center. My bad, Diva Center. You never correct a diva. This is our resident diva, Chrissy. Chrissy.
We are here at New London Pride, Ocean Beach Park. We are loving life right now. We're all fabulous. We're volunteering at the Diva Center. We're doing hair, makeup, nails, tattoos. Yes, we're doing face paint. We're doing dress up. We're doing... That's right. We're doing it all. We've got it going on.
They have lace fronts.
You know it. This is how New London Pride does it.
OutCT, person of the day, of the year, of the century. Miss Miss, I know your name.
I'm sorry, you want to start over?
No, it's fine.
Cut that.
No, we're not cutting it. This is how we do it. We make it like this. It's fun and crazy, just like today. So what is going on today?
We are Pride at the Beach, former name, now New London Pride. Last night Hygienic, this day Ocean Beach Park. Live entertainment all day, hoop dancing, face painting, mermaid painting, henna art, nonprofit organizations, pride retailers, churches, synagogues, businesses, the book barn's here, volleyball on the beach, swimming, games, cosplay contest soon, Imperial Court. Should I go in the lineup? There's lots going on.
And the list goes on. The one-stop shop for all your gay fun and just fun. Everybody can come. So is this going to be, as I see now, it's 2 years running. Is it going to be forever? I think so.
Well, it's actually our fourth year.
Fourth year? Where have I been?
Fourth day at the beach. It started small, Ocean Beach Gay Day, then Pride at the Beach. Last year, New London Pride, 2 days. Now, again, a 2-day event. And yeah, we just hope it grows each year.
I try to discover a little something to make me sweeter. Oh, baby, refrain from breaking my heart. I'm so in love with you. I'll be forever blue.
We are here with the Connecticut Gay Men's Chorus. Say we have Cecil, James, and we have Nick over here. So how long have you guys been around?
I have been with the chorus for 2.5 years.
2.5 years, y'all. Going strong still. So today they just performed. We totally missed it with the camera, but it was good. Trust me, it was good. Oh, I'm hearing from people that we do have it on camera. What do I know? Anyway, James, what's going on with you today?
Doing good. Just trying to stay out of the sun. I'll get some sun later. But just trying to support the Gay Men's Choir and show my support for Out Connecticut, and really enjoy the day and having something in New London so close and so local, and having everybody come and really support us is fantastic.
I hear ya. We are here for us. So Nick, what do you got to add to it with your awesome shirt?
Thank you. So I think just, support everybody, come out, Pride, celebrate, come see us at our concerts, and come see us at Bingo.
Bingo.
We have a drag bingo every month. So it's one of our fundraisers that helps support the chorus as well as other local organizations.
I'm down for bingo. And Sophia. All right, guys. It was so awesome talking to you, and I will probably be around soon. Maybe I'll sing with the choir. I'm gonna do it. We are here with the lovely Miss Lucia Virginity. She woke up like this. This is actually her nightgown. She is that fabulous. That's how she wakes up.
Yes, true.
So what are you here representing today, love?
I am here on behalf of the Imperial Sovereign Court of all Connecticut. Our organization is a 501c3 nonprofit organization that helps out the LGBTQ community and communities at large.
I love that. Just us supporting each other. I guess that's something that we need to do more than bring each other down. It's just, we're all a family, no matter gay, straight, what have you. We're all one, we're all humans, so we might as well just be nice. It's nice to be nice.
Exactly. And fabulous at the same time.
Exactly. Waking up and, coming out in your nightgown, girl.
Yes.
It's just...
I just did a show last night, so I didn't even take the makeup off. This is still...
Girl, that is... That's why I love her, for no reason. Just awesome for no reason.
Dirty cats, living life like a crazy cat lady. Ain't got no mice or rats. Living life like a crazy cat lady. Playing boxes over fun. Living life like a crazy cat lady.
Hey, we have the band that you just saw just a minute ago performing, who was so awesome. This is...
Jody Jolt and the Volts.
All right, you want to introduce yourselves?
I'm Jessica.
Angela.
I'm Jody.
I'm Emily.
So, what do you guys all play? What do you guys do? I know you're the Beyonce.
No, I'm the Joan Jett, actually.
Okay, not the Debbie Harry, though.
Debbie's good too. But I'm showing my age here. I grew up with Grace Slick, Janis Joplin, that era, so I've been rocking for a while.
Okay.
We do a lot of originals. We do select covers, but it's all high energy rock and roll, an awful lot of fun. We got songs like Crazy Cat Lady. For anybody that's got more than 3 cats, you're a crazy cat lady. So we like to have fun and rock. Keep it fun.
I saw that. I only have 1 cat, though. So I'm still good. I'm still good.
Working your way to being a crazy cat lady. Yes.
All right, so what do you do in the band?
I play the bass guitar and dance around a bit.
Yes, she does. I saw it. I was a witness.
I play rhythm guitar.
And she kept that beat?
To the band, actually, too.
Yes, this chick does everything. Like, I didn't even know you were in a band. I know she roller derbies, karaoke's, now's in a band, and it's all this. All the time. How does she do it?
I've seen the roller derby. It's impressive. Those girls don't fool around. Roller derby, they don't fool around. Check them out sometime.
And you, darling, what do you do?
Oh, I play keyboards, and I have 6 cats, so I guess that makes me an insane cat lady. Insane cat lady.
Yeah, you'd be on crazy cat.
No.
Mine, though, so to be fair.
That's what they say, though. But I don't believe you.
They're my roommates.
Emily's also the band techie. She does our web pages and the recordings
Facebook.
of the
Oh yeah, our album
video
is.
stuff.
You can get our album on Facebook too.
Okay. What, did you guys have a website or anything?
JodyJoltandTheVolt.com.
Double tap them.
J-O-D-I.
J-O-D-I, J-O-L-T.
The I makes it fancy.
And the Volt.
And the vault.
Yeah, you can't forget about
The vault.
Jody Jolt.
And the Volt.
Okay, we're back. Now, you wanted to talk a little bit about some of the people in that film clip, right?
Yeah, Jody Jolt and the Volt, they're an all transgender band. It's a really cool band. They're actually going to be on Grandma's Attic Music Review, which is on Channel 24 on Atlantic Broadband on the last Saturday of the year. So they're going to play us out for New Year's. It's Saturday at 10 o'clock on the 31st. So.
And just as a general pitch, you work behind the camera on Dot's show.
Yep, I work behind the camera alongside with Bob over there. It's actually a really, really fun job. We have a different band every week. It's usually a local one. I've been trying to spread my wings a little bit more than just working the cameras and trying to get people on the show. And Jody Jolt and the Volt are one of the people where I've been asking, come on guys, you gotta do it. They're gonna be really fun. They're an awesome band, so it's gonna be a good time.
Well, you know, before Dot decided she wanted to do her own Grandma's Attic show, she spent 1 year doing 1 show a month with me here as sort of a trial run. And then, of course, she was ready to go way beyond.
A spin-off?
Yeah. Well, you know, we try. We need some spin-offs. So much of the media is like the right-wing media and it's true in the mainstream commercial media, but it's actually kind of true in public access too, that we hear a lot of the right-wing views and not really as many counterbalancing ones, I don't think, which is one of the reasons we keep doing this show.
Oh, that's perfect.
But yeah, I wanted to mention to people that although the Facebook page for OutCT is the place where you can get the up-to-date information about upcoming events, the website itself has a lot of useful information, and there is a resource page. Yep. And you know, some things that I would not necessarily think about, but you know, there are things like places of worship and legal, financial, health information, and like,
yeah.
I mean, what are the challenges in terms of finding out this information if you're left on your own?
There are challenges if you're left on your own, but that's what we're trying to take away from the whole equation. Now that we have somewhere where we're bringing the LGBTQ community to the website, we're trying to help with the resources and bring them all to one good location and make it a lot easier. Where else would people look for it? There's not in this state the pink pages. I know in Massachusetts they added pink pages, which was a version, and maybe we'll get a version, but now in a digital, and the pink pages were like the yellow pages where you flip through it and you have a bunch of different businesses, but those were all LGBTQ community-based businesses. What we're trying to do is just give more resources to the people to show them digitally, and links to websites that are friendly with our community.
And we noted talking earlier that, you know, when we talk about the current administration, that there's a kind of religious undertone that is very intolerant. And it's kind of heartening to see that even in our area, if you look under places of worship, there are a lot of inclusive and welcoming places of worship around here. Almost depending, I mean, I'm not really religious at all, I've got to say, but depending on what one's religious affiliation is, there are welcoming congregations in the area.
Yeah, I, on the other hand, I have a lot of a religious background. I'm a Hispanic, and my family was really into going to church every single Sunday as a big group, and I was raised in a strong Catholic community. As I got older, I kind of listened and was trying to find my way. I tried a lot of different churches, actually. I didn't want to do the confession every week and just go to the Catholic practices. So I tried a Baptist church, which I didn't really get along with, and an evangelist type church, a bunch of different, before I finally found St. James in New London, which is a really accepting church. It's a Episcopalian church. I also work for an Episcopalian church. But one of the first sermons that I heard from the pastor was how he has to be welcoming and open to the gay community, and how times are changing, and instead of shunning them away, we should be welcoming the community with open arms. And as he was preaching this in the front of the church, I was like, finally, I found the church that I belong to. And I've gotten along with that priest very, very good since I've been a member of St. James Church. He's the type of priest that if I was sick in the hospital, he'll come and visit. He blessed my dog for once a year. There's a blessing of the animals. He blessed the dog.
My cats are missing out. They're not blessed.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if they've done any gay marriages at that wedding, or that church, but they're open to, and mine might be the first. I don't know. It's the learn the table there. So.
Yeah, they're, you know, now, of course, you know, church weddings, why not?
So back to the resources, though. If I knew there was somewhere where I can be like, that's the right church for me, before going to all these different churches and testing them out, I might have just went right for the one
or at least some of the ones you visited. You know, first of all, you might not have been on the list at all, and you'd have not. You know, you might have taken a little while to find the best fit, but you'd at least have felt welcome at anyone on
Yeah,
the list.
there was a couple of them where I did not feel welcome at, which is, I'm not going to mention any names, but it was a little disheartening. But for me, I chalk it up all to experience, and now I have all this knowledge in my tool belt, and I'm able
Yeah.
to share that type of information with the next generation.
Well, it is interesting, the idea of religions that are welcoming or not. I grew up Jewish, and I'm not very religious now, but I did go to Hebrew school and had a bat mitzvah and all that. And when I grew up and went to weddings in Christian churches, some of them I felt really uncomfortable in, because, it's like, okay, my people killed Jesus, and they were pretty explicit about it. So, religion can be a force for, acceptance or not, depending on what congregation you're affiliated with. And the other resources, health resources have not always been available. Legal, marriage, financial info. It's like there are extra complications. Not as many complications now with nationwide equality, but certainly historically it's been much more complicated.
So I'm glad we have our website with the resources. It's just like, where do we turn to for these type of resources and this information? Now this is a safe spot where we can go to, and we're gonna be constantly updating it all the time. So I'm looking forward to working on the website myself. I'm gonna be helping out with those too.
Now, you mentioned that the board had pretty much turned over recently, and maybe you want to talk a little bit about who's involved now, because I think Constance has been the face of the organization for so long that we want to be welcoming of all the new crowd too.
Yeah, Constance was the founder of OutCT. She's been the president for the last 4 years, and 4 years is a pretty good term. We would love to have her another 4 years, but she needs time for herself to grow as an individual, and if she steps away from this, as she says it herself, the company is going to be forced to grow, or the group is going to be forced to grow. And that's what we need. We need that push to take this to the next level. There's been a big change in all the board members and who's who. I'm just going to go through a quick list. The new president is Mario De Lucia. Jonathan Atticus is the new vice president.
Now you talked a little bit about what Mario had been involved in the past.
Yep.
Maybe with each of these board members, you can tell us a little bit about.
Sure. Mario De Lucia was the youth chair. He's been running the fashion show, as I said, for the last few years. He's been organizing it really good, bringing in a good amount of money, and I'm really glad that he's in the position as a new president, because he has that savvy mind that can really take it to the next level. He also owns a hairdressing salon, and he's a business owner. So somebody with those type of skills we want in charge. Jonathan, he's the new vice president. He's been with the group since it first started. He's been a big part of the Pride festivals and organizing that. He got the DJs last year. He's really enthusiastic about taking on the vice president position. The next couple people are, actually, before I get to the new members, Leo. Leo's the new treasurer. Leo Schulman's the new treasurer. He's been with the group for the last few years, and he really knows how to work the financial side of the whole things. When it comes to keeping the books, he's done it the last few years. I don't want to touch it. He's smart enough to handle it. He also has a good background with making posters and making the advertisements that we see all over as they're getting put out. And then we have a couple new members. Daniel Sholoff is the new recording secretary, and Christy Doucette is the corresponding secretary. So those are the main members. Also, Kia Bird is going to be taking over as a festival chair. So she's going to be in charge of the festival itself instead of the OutCT, but she'll also be on the board as well.
Okay, and she's been really visible in the community with her,
Yes, she has.
like spoken word stuff and.
Yeah, Kia is all over the place. She sings, she dances, she just became president of a different board. We were asking her if she wanted to be one of the officers on OutCT, but right now she has a lot of responsibilities with other things. But taking on the festival chair is right up her alley. She's a musician herself, and she's going to really set this year apart different from the rest of the years.
Okay. Okay, and okay, you probably heard that. We have 5 minutes.
So other members are Lisa, Lori Scott, and Constance, and myself, who I'm going to be trying to working with the media a little bit more.
And you said you wanted to do some more like filming stuff.
Yeah, a lot of the thing that I see that's missing is we don't have enough visuals. So when we say we're having a Pride Festival, you want to see the Pride Festival. So like that clip I brought in earlier, that's the type of thing I want to do with a lot of the other events. I want to be able to videotape them, put them on our website, bring them to Atlantic Broadband here and put it on public access. So it's a pretty good deal.
Now, in the couple minutes we have left, if people want to become more involved with OutCT or they want to be supportive with their time or their money, how can they go about doing that?
The easiest way is to go to outct.org. There's a volunteer tab which has a questionnaire about what's your likes and dislikes, and they'll try to fit you for something that you like instead of something you don't, obviously, for volunteering. Again, that's outct.org, or if you want to just volunteer for the Pride festivals, we have newlondonpride.com. Phone number, if you don't have web access, is 860-339-4660.
And I'm guessing the Pride Festival, since it gets bigger every year, you could use more and more volunteers every year.
Every year we're going to need more and more, and it seems like we don't have enough, but we managed to pull it off. So we need as many volunteers to help as possible.
And the fact that it's really two events. It's one event at the Hygienic, and then it's another whole event at Ocean Beach.
Yeah, and we don't need people to sign up for the whole day, just maybe an hour or two, just so we can relieve the other people and just keep it going. But we've been having a good time with it, and we're hoping that we get more volunteers. So check out that volunteer form at ct.org.
And it is near the end of the year, and people are thinking about charitable donations, and I'm sure OutCT will take, has a donate tab if you go to the website.
We do have a donate tab, and we have a merchandise tab, so if you wanted to get OutCT t-shirts and stuff, there's also that, and most of the proceeds all go right back into OutCT to keep on furthering our message.
And OutCT is a 501c3 tax-exempt organization, so if you're thinking about like tax write-offs, now is the time. Let me see if there's anything we missed in the 1 or 2 minutes. And what is the next event? Is there anything that's coming up fairly soon?
I know we got to reset.
Okay, well, people have to just go to the website and go to the Facebook page and find out what's happening. I'm guessing that May's fashion show is definitely on, but whether
Oh yeah,
and the happy
we're
hour.
still in the planning stages, so a lot of it is about thinking about the theme and coming up with the outfits and coming up with the next host. Hopefully it's going to be as good as last year. So
that's going to be a high bar to get better than.
Yeah, we try to top ourselves every year. For the Pride Festival, we actually been doubling the money every year, so we're doing really good with that. And being that it's going to be the 5th anniversary, it's going to be one of the hugest Pride festivals ever, and we're going to really need all hands.
And what date did you say that was? I know
it's going to be the last week in August.
Okay, so mark that in your calendars, everyone. Well, thank you, Edwin. That was really good, and people can find out more about OutCT on the website or on the Facebook page, or just come to an event.
Yep. Hump Day Happy Hour, last Wednesday of every month.
Okay, and that's coming up in a couple weeks.
Yeah, that'll be the next thing.
And so next week, our guests will be Deborah Cohen and Diane Haas, and they went to Standing Rock twice over the last month and a half, and they'll be talking about their experiences trying to support the indigenous people out there. So still on the theme of like, what can we do now in the times we're in? So we'll see you next week, and thank you, Edwin.
Thank you.
Dream